Yes, we come to the fifth level of the Pilates Superman series. There's a little bit of movement in this one, so I've got the knee pads on, but again, you might be fine. But again, I've always give options, for injuries. Like I say, you can always use these, but with the movement-based ones, this is a harder level. Going to be a bit hard to sort of stay on these. So, like I say, if you need it, then probably knee pads are the best, or just leave it out. Stick to a lower level. But 5 is a little bit more coordination. The static one, the breathing changed a little bit. So we're breathing in, taking knee towards the body, then exhaling out. But I'm going to go for that as I go. Like I say, a bit more coordination. So it challenges the motor area of the brain to fire these sequences to first the pelvic floor and the corset, microseconds or anything else. Then that sequence goes out to the torso, then out to the limbs, generally the arms, then the legs. A bit of a foreign sequence of the body we're working on. And all these are foreign sequence of the body. But even more so, the more coordination you're adding in there, the motor area, straight to the pelvic floor, the corset muscle, the transverse abdominis, the one we talk about, 3 layers deep. Then it goes out torso to your limbs, or generally the arms, then the legs. All these are about microseconds for each other. But you don't have to know that, but really good foreign order of the body for our walking gait, basically. So that's the function bit of that. So I'm going to digress too much. I'm going to get into the breathing. Like I say, use them powerful exhales. I'll give the options. Obviously, on this harder level, you're probably all right, but I'm going to do the breathing from here, then go to here. You can go to any of them first if you want, but if they're a little bit too much problem for your back, you can always come to this position. It's always a safe one. Use whatever pads you need, but to feel comfortable. Feet flat on the floor, knees bent, heels in line with your sit bones. Your legs are aligned there, and again, it's a good position just to allow your spine to lengthen. But if you want to, so whatever one is good for you. So I'm going to start here. Like I say, I give that option. So from here, you can use pads underneath here if you want to sit in this one and you feel comfortable, fine. Otherwise, we're just going to draw the sit bones in towards the floor. You can even drop the shoulders before you start, allow them just to mount in towards the body. Shoulders over hips, head over shoulders, lengthen up for the crown. So if you've got a puppet string, a hook, a brace on your head, putting your head up towards the ceiling. And we're going to start zipping up pelvic floor and scooping out your abdominals. I'm going for them segmentally. I'm going to use this workshoppy one. It's always a good one. Before we start, we're going to just go for now. The thumb's going to come from the hips here, just to let you know where that beeline is. So straight round, hips here. Now again, a little bit of a workshoppy moment before we start, a bit of awareness, anatomy going on. So pelvic floor's lower, this beeline, bikini line, belt line, whatever you want to call that. And above this is our corset muscle, linking on to the pelvic floor like cling film. These two muscles go together like cling film. Okay. On the top of this beeline is our corset muscle, wrapping around 3 layers deep. Okay, segmentally stabilising our spine, 3 layers deep. Okay, wrap around our spine. Okay, so pelvic floor is lower. Above this is our corset muscle, 3 layers deep, linking onto this beeline to the pelvic floor like cling film. Okay, again, just having that awareness will help you use these muscles in the correct fashion, or it will help you use them even more efficiently. So from here, while we're here, we're just going to cough or sneeze. And again, if you do that, you'll feel pelvic floor go and your corset muscle go in towards the spine. You can do that a few times. So basically, when I say zip up pelvic floor and scoop out your abdominals, it just takes that worry away that, oh God, I'm doing one without the other. Okay, it can't happen, they go together. Okay, but when I say them, zip up pelvic floor and scoop out your abdominals, just to give you that awareness to find them orders. But like I say, you can't do one without the other, so it takes that worry away. So without further ado, I was going to get on with the breathing. So I'm going to start here, 2 middle fingers touching underneath the breastbone. The xiphoid process the sternum, palms on the lower lobes of the lungs, allow the shoulders to drop. Okay, that just lets you know that workshoppy moment we did there, that you can't go wrong. Zip up pelvic floor, scoop out your abdominals, they work together. You can't do one without the other. Then from here, we're going to breathe in for our nose. And exhale through pursed lips. If you're sort of blowing out a candle through pursed lips, as you keep long through the crown, I'm sort of doing this, the camera, you can just keep long there, shoulders down. As you zip up pelvic floor and scoop out your abdominals, and keep, right now, breathing in through the nose, and exhale through pursed lips. That breath can only go into them lower lobes of lungs, you'll feel that. Okay, so much so these two middle fingers might slightly part and come back to touch each other. It might only be a millimetre, it doesn't matter, but when you're zipping up pelvic floor and scooping out your abdominals, these two middle fingers will slightly part like seaweed on the bottom of the seabed to the sides and back. Okay, these hands are just here, these two middle fingers touching to help you feel that's happening right now as you're zipping up pelvic floor and scooping out these abdominals, navel towards the spine, thinking tiny waist there. That breath can only go into them lower lobes of lungs. So much though the two middle fingers slightly part and come back to touch each other. Breathing through the nose and exhaling through pursed lips. You're sort of blowing out a candle through pursed lips. Lovely. You can take them hands away and just be relaxed in the fact that as you're breathing right now, as you're zipping up pelvic floor and scooping out your abdominals, that breath can only go into them lower lobes of lungs, because right now, as you zip up pelvic floor and think tiny waist, scoop out the abdominals, that breath can only go into them lower lobes of lungs, the intercostals, the ribs right now as you do this, into them fish gills, 3D style. Just keep breathing in organ deep, cell deep, even bone marrow deep through the nose, to them lower lobes of lungs, intercostals, the ribs, then exhaling through pursed lips. Okay, again, even imagine someone's just opening an umbrella inside your ribcage and letting go, or someone's just pushing out from inside your ribs and letting go. Just adding width to your lungs right now and length to the exhale as you exhale through pursed lips. Lovely Pilates, lateral thoracic breathing. This is going to help us use our pelvic floor and our corset muscle, the transverse abdominis, 3 layers deep, in the most efficient manner right now, as we keep breathing in through the nose whenever you like, and exhale through pursed lips. That breath can only go into them lower lobes of lungs, 3D style. Keep breathing in organ deep, cell deep, even bone marrow deep. As you think tiny waist, zip up pelvic floor and scoop out your abdominals, allowing that simplicity to relax the mind as you do that, and just keep breathing in through the nose whenever you like, and exhale through pursed lips. So you're sort of blowing out a candle through pursed lips, and that exhale, just think of that cough. You can use a resonant out breath, real deep breath you're breathing in, and it's a use that resonant out breath, fire that like a cough or a sneeze. That'll do the same thing. That'll help you zip up pelvic floor and scoop out your abdominals like a cough or a sneeze. So you don't even have to think or try not to try to zip up pelvic floor and scoop out your abdominals. That resonant out breath does it for you right now as you're breathing in through the nose, zipping up pelvic floor, scooping out your abdominals, and firing that exhale, that resonant out breath. That helps you zip up pelvic floor and scoop out your abdominals, throwing that seatbelt on, that corset muscle, that powerhouse, that girdle of strength, 3 layers deep, which is segmentally stabilising your spine. Sometimes it's a bit like an amnesia. If you don't know these muscles are there, you don't always use them in the most efficient manner, but now you know they're there. You can use them in the most efficient manner right now by zipping up pelvic floor and scooping out your abdominals, allowing that simplicity to relax the mind as you keep breathing in through the nose whenever you like, and exhaling through pursed lips. You can take it on to here as we feel the area between the ribs and the hips more compressed. You can really think tiny waist in this position as we zip up pelvic floor and scoop out your abdominals. You'll feel that breath even more so coming into them lower lobes of lungs as you breathe in Exhale through pursed lips, breathing in for the nose whenever you like, and exhaling through pursed lips. Even imagine there's a scarf wrapped around your ribs and you breathe into that scarf wide and full. Just adding width to the lungs as you breathe in, and length for the out breath. The best position to get that breath into them lower lobes of lungs, intercostals, the ribs, anywhere but your stomachs. As we breathe in, come out of that, we're going to stack up them Lego bricks, then books, then vertebrae, and go into the exercise. So again, space at the end of the breath. The space is optional to you, as is the speed and tempo. Slow is harder, fast is easier. Lovely. So from here, going to start off, two of your fists apart. We'll do it this way first. Two of the fists apart. Okay, that puts the knees in line with hips, wrists in line with shoulders. Spread them fingers, middle fingers forwards, head in line with tailbone. Make sure, again, you might have a safety check behind you. You're not kicking anything or anyone. But again, from here, I'm going to do it four ways, then I'm going to change to sideways. Okay, so from here, wrists in line with shoulders. Remember, spread them fingers, middle fingers forward, head in line with tailbone. I might poke mine up to talk every now and then. Okay, but again, head in line with tailbone. Think of that spirit level on the tailbone. You keep that bubble in the centre. You keep hips in the same plane. From here, it's going to have a little check. Yeah, so from here, we're going to breathe in through the nose, head towards the knee, thinking tiny waist, especially in that position. As you exhale, use that resonant exhale. Again, that helps you zip up and scoop out your abdominals. And here's where it's different. In the space at the end of the breath, that becomes more valuable as you take a hand forward and a knee forward. As you walk forward, that active hand and active knee goes forward. Then you go again. Breathe in, opposite hand to opposite knee, head towards the knee, thinking tiny waist, especially in that position. Exhale, reach. Spread the fingers, middle fingers forward to that posted hand. Space at the end of the breath becomes valuable as you take the hand down in front of the other hand, knee down in front of the other knee. Active hand and active knee comes down. Then you repeat again. Breathe in, head towards the knee. Tiny waist there especially. Exhale, reach, reach, reach. See how long you can become. Really fire that exhale. Again, space at the end of the breath. You take the hand down and knee down, and you go again. Again, it's a breath in for the nose. Exhale. Use that resonant out breath. That works like a cough or a sneeze. Naturally helps to zip up pelvic floor and scoop out your abdominals without even trying or trying not to try. Space at the end of the breath comes valuable. You take the hand down, the knee down, and you go again. Reach, reach, reach. See how long you can become, as if wild horses upon your part. Space at the end of the breath, you take the hand down and the knee down. I'm going to go sideways. Again, you can turn around and just come back again. Backwards would be the next level, but again, it's all forward on this one. So I'm going to do it sideways. You can see it better. So from here, always have a check behind you, especially in a class. You don't want to kick anyone by accident because you're moving back and forth. Okay. Again, a little bit of a safety thing there. Two of your fists apart on the knees. Then wrists in line with shoulders. So when you're ready, breathing in, head towards the knee. Breathing in, and it's a space at the end of the breath. You walk the hand forward, the knee forward, and you go again. It's a spread them fingers, middle fingers forward, reach, head in line with tailbone. Space at the end of the breath. You walk the hand forward, the knee forward, then you go again. It's a refire, exhale. Just zip up and scoop out your abdominals, hand forward, knee forward, then you go again. It's again, I'll turn around and come back. I won't go backwards yet. You can do that on the next one. On the next level, again, I'm going to check behind me. I'm just going to demonstrate with the breath so you can hear it. So again, two of the fists apart, wrists in line with shoulders. Again, breathing, head towards the knee. When it's an exhale. Space at the end of the breath, the hand goes down, the knee goes down, it's hand down, knee down, then you go again. Remember, that space becomes valuable. It's optional to you how long you spend there as you let the breath go. When you're ready, space becomes valuable. At the end, you let the breath go, the breath finishes. Take the hand down, the knee down. You go again. That space is optional to you before you start the breath again. Hand down, knee down, and you go again when you're ready. It's hand down, knee down. You do a few more back this way before a nice release stretch when you're ready. If you have to turn around or like that safety thing and check who's behind you or whatever, or you know, don't be kicking anything. Again, wrists in line with shoulders, knees in line with hips. Remember, slow is harder, fast is easier. Nice elongated exhale, and think long when you're ready. It's exhale, reach, Superman style. You reach, reach, reach. It's all about length. Hand in line with shoulder, no higher. Ankle in line with hip. Okay, so when you're ready, it's breathing, head towards the knee. Exhale, reach, reach, reach. A space at the end of the breath. You take the hand down, the knee down, then you go again when you're ready. It's reach, reach, reach. Let's go a few more. So when you're ready, hand down, knee down, in that space at the end of the breath. It's optional to you. You let the breath go for a while, then you start again. Hand down, knee down. Let's do 2 more to finish. Okay, when you're ready, it's space at the end of the breath. Take the hand down, the knee down, then you go again. It's hand down, knee down, and go one more. Put the icing on the cake. Make sure you're even both sides as you finish. Lovely. So again, going to go with the child pose. Any problems with the knees? Also, I'll be surprised with that one. You've got problems with the knees, but because again, you know, you wouldn't be doing that one. But if you're right to come down to a balasana, a child posture, you can come down to here. If that's a problem, you've always got that one we did for the breathing. That's a better area. It's a better one to get the breath into the lower lobes of the lungs. Or you can come out of it and go to any of these. All else fails on your back. Problems with the knees or whatever, you just pull the knees towards the stomach. Okay, but otherwise, if you're right with this one, just fold over like a shell on the beach. Thinking tiny waist, folding over here. Heavy with the sit bones. Like I say, in them other options, you can come out and we should have a release stretch. A basic release stretch is always in Pilates at the end, the exercise. And just zip up pelvic floor and scoop out your abdominals as you've been doing. And just breathing through the nose when you're ready. And exhale through pursed lips. You're sort of blowing out a candle through pursed lips. Just feeling the release from the lower back, the glutes, the buttocks. Releasing the knots that are bound you. Just feeling that sense of liberation and freedom. The lower back, the glutes, the buttocks. Lovely. Simply riding the wave of that lovely elongated out breath as you release the lower back, the glutes, the buttocks. Just releasing the knots that are bound you. Feeling that sense of liberation and freedom. The lower back, the glutes, the buttocks. Allowing yourself just to melt in towards the floor deeper without even trying, or try not to try. Allowing them restful relaxation responses and endless streams of comfort. And when you're ready, we're going to breathe in, stack up the vertebrae coming out of that. From there, you're going to breathe in, stack up his Lego bricks, his books, his vertebrae coming out of that. Lovely. So that's level 5. Level 6, you guessed it, is going backwards. Challenging the coordination a little bit. If these are too tricky, just stick to the first, stick to the 4th level, and then the coordination won't be so hard when you pop up. Like I say, any problems with the knees, leave these out. I mean, if any of them are giving you trouble with the knees, even with the pads or whatever, but you know, you can pad them out, whatever there, or come out earlier, see what suits you. Remember, it's your unit of your mind and body, so you don't want to be aggravating stuff. You'll be aware of that. Again, there's always a variety of modified exercises in Pilates. Pilates is pretty much, well, it's pretty much modification. That is the whole basis of Pilates, adapting it to you. Yeah, and it's horses for courses. Sometimes you'll find a harder level suits you better than you know, quite rare, but sometimes you find a slightly harder level will be easier than an easier one maybe. Sometimes it's horses for courses. It's your unit of your mind and body. Everyone's biology is slightly different, and body chemistry, etc. Shall I say, is different. So see what suits you, and only make this as easy or as hard as you like, with the speed and the tempo, with the breath. But with these ones, there's that space at the end of the breath, and that's valuable to you. As you let the breath go, you get your breath out, then you take your time, set yourself up. There's no rush to get back into it. And like I say, if you're in a room, just check behind you first, especially on the next level when you're going backwards. That's the end of the 5th level. Bang.